My name's Gordon Foote, and I'm a client representative, and I operate, as opposed to mainstream sailing, actually in the offshore industry. So I work in the maritime disciplines across oil and gas, offshore renewables, and major environmental projects. And I've spent combined 35 years or over 35 years at sea now. Pre-Covid-19, with my journey to Taiwan to join my project, was quite simple. I could book a flight, pretty much guaranteed that flight would run on time, that there would be seating capacity. I could then travel to the airport, enter Taiwan. It would usually take about an hour to get through the airport, and I would be issued with a 90-day visa on entry, being a UK passport holder. There was a variety of flights. I could take up to 4 during a week. In early March, during the UK lockdown and the Taiwanese government further restrictions, meant that my next crew change involved not being able to take public transport. I was fortunate that I was nominated as a key worker. So from the police point of view, I was allowed to be on the road and to travel to work. In this instance, it involved getting a rental car and driving to the London airport. The roads were empty and ghostly. From then on, the whole flight experience was totally different. Firstly, part of the London airport had been shut down for energy saving and the lack of capacity. There's at least 4 boards with hundreds and hundreds of flights that are rolling, indicating the amount of air traffic ordinarily. When I joined the London airport, there was 4 boards there, but there was only 4 flights on it in total. All the time that you're in the airport, you have a face covering, and from then on, the boarding process was quite simple. But once on the aircraft, wearing a face covering and gloves, of course, and also finding out that there was no hot service. So the 13-hour flight was conducted with cold snacks in a box only, with face covering and gloves on. Once arriving at the airport, what would ordinarily take about an hour to transit through the airport took about 4 hours. This is accepted. They have very stringent entry regimes, both with temperature checks and the CDC program, which means that once you get a Taiwanese SIM card for your phone, you're then logged with the CDC center and the police. You fill out a multitude of extra forms that you didn't have to fill out before. You collect your baggage, you pass through the border control, collect your baggage, and then you found that there were quarantine taxis. This prevents you from using public transport, which is good, and there are serious fines for contravening those rules. So you log yourself in with a quarantine taxi that's going to your district, and have your case and your person sprayed down, enter the taxi, and they take you direct with no stops to a quarantine accommodation that you have. You have the choice of taking on the local government immigration center type quarantine, or you can pay as an individual to stay at one of the hotels that are allocated for quarantine purposes only. So there's no clients or guests there at all, only those that are quarantined. And on joining there, you're then taken directly to your room. The door closes and you have 14 days to spend there. The police do random checks at the door, which is great. And your food is delivered to a little table outside and a knock on the door. So you take your 3 meals a day, whatever the cuisine may be, and your 14 days then commences. You have a temperature check and form, personal temperature check to fill out. And I think the Taiwanese government were excellent with that because they provided you with a thermometer and all their guidance that you require. And at the end of your 14 days, at midnight on the last day, you are then released, and you can then travel then to your vessel.